Welcome everybody to the NotBland Show, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And I tell you, the powers that be really didn't want me to start this show. This thing failed 3 times trying to start this show, but we are here, we are live, and we have great guests on for tonight. I am really excited to have Richard Freeman on to talk about his big announcement and to talk about all things concerning all elite. And man, it's just been a silly season of silly seasons. I think our NHRA silly season is better than the NFL free agency frenzy right now. It has been wacky. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share, like, subscribe to the show. Want to thank Drag Race Reference, Everything Nitro, and of course, our sponsor, Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. In 2 weeks, we'll be back at it again for 2 more races, and it hasn't been a good season for your boy. But it has been good seasons for others. If you haven't gotten involved, you still want to get involved to win free prizes and sign up for free, then we'll pay attention to this commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have the man himself, Richard Freeman.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's Richard Freeman. How's it going, Richard?
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. It's been a great day, great weather, and you have some great news that you've been sharing with people. Fill us in on what that is.
Oh, but what do you want to start with? I'm assuming you're talking about that nitro fuel car.
Yes, and its sponsor.
Yeah. So R&L Carriers come on board for a multi-year deal, and we couldn't be happier to have them on board. Super excited. Tony Stewart behind the wheel. With plans to get Erica and Aaron licensed up throughout the year. We'll see how that goes, but super excited about what's happened thus far.
Yes, and you should be. This is really cool news because, first of all, it's pretty remarkable to see what has been done between you, Elite, and KB to really put the Pro Stock class in a spot where I think it's better than it's ever been before. And now you bring those same ideas, those innovation, that standard to the top fuel ranks. I'm really looking forward to seeing what produces here. How did all this come about with you being able to get this big deal with R&L Carriers?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We could sit here for hours and talk about all that. But, first and foremost, the marketing alliance with Tony, some long hours talking with Tony and Leah about different thought processes and ideas around that and how to do some things maybe differently and offer our partners a much larger landscape of assets. And so kind of started there. And with Leah jumping back in the seat next year, Tony and I had some conversations, still working on some stuff, possibility of him driving a pro stock car, put him in a pro stock car, made some test laps there. And of course, I've made statements before that I had an interest in Top Fuel. And that started, long ago with my good friends, the Torrances, and just lots of things have transpired. And Tony helped that along a little bit by saying, "Hey, I've lost my job," and and so we thought, man, what a perfect time to see if we could put something together, and it's fell together beautifully. And so we're super excited about it. I mean, there's so many things to talk about. Super excited to have R&L Carriers give us this opportunity to go out and get started in 26. When I bought the team from Josh, we made it clear that without funding, we weren't doing it.
Yep.
and some amazing things happened, and Josh has got a fantastic deal going. What he's doing, and he was very involved in the transition, and nobody stole a sponsor, none of that. Uh, the guys at R&L, Robbie Roberts, I haven't met him in person yet. We've had a lot of phone conversations. Brent Probasco, they're just, I mean, it seems like we've known each other forever, and I know that's how Josh felt about them, and so that relationship has been growing and growing daily, and just we couldn't be more happy.
It seems like RNL really kind of fits in with what your standard is as far as partnership with your team and those people that are drive for you. Um, you know, with this partnership and with this partnership with Tony TSR Nitro and this marketing and hospitality deal, what is your vision of this particular partnership and where you want it to go, and how is it going to be different from other partnerships that we have seen in the past?
Well, I think our sport has changed ever since I got in it back in the late 2009, right in that area. There were it was, you had Top Fuel and Funny Car, and then you had everybody else. And through this time, there's been walls that have come down. I've made some great friends over there, in the fuel ranks, and never really had that burning passion for Top Fuel like I do naturally aspirated cars. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and my vision, while it may not work, is to take some of what we did in the pro stock ranks, and have a plan to bring some of these younger people, give them an opportunity uh, to be crew chiefs and things like that, and just build upon uh, what I always say is who's next. I mean, you got the late Don Schumacher, who did so much, and I watched what he did and how he did it, and like him or don't like him, the guy was very, very intelligent. John Force, uh, look what he's done for the sport. But again, he's closing in on 80 years old. I've had many conversations with John, and I think he even today thinks about, oh boy, what who's next? How do we mentor this? And so that's really what I want to do. And the people that are going to be a part of this, whoever they may be, they're either going to buy into that or they won't fit. And so we're super excited about it.
You were able to go out and get Mike Green. I know Mike Green has had his share of struggles over the this season, and some may think that he's lost his fastball. What do you see in Mike Green as far as what he brings to the team? And was there ever any thought to go younger? I think I know the answer of why you brought in Mike Green, but just kind of explain that with the fans, on why Mike Green.
Well, first of all, Mike Green would have been top of my list on anything. Uh, and as far as had his struggles or whatever, I mean, I think that team is going into the last two races in the number two hole to win a world championship. So I think his credentials speak for themselves. What Mike brings to the table, in my opinion, is one, when he asked me what my vision was and what I wanted to do, he immediately said, I want to be involved in that. And so that checks a lot of boxes for me, because the word proprietary to me doesn't mean a whole lot. And I believe that in today's time, and there are plenty of people with money that would like to compete, but it's the know-how. And so I believe that's hopefully something that we can maybe have a hand in changing going forward. And Mike's all in on that, and so we got a lot of work to do. Listen,
Of
you're
course.
not going to go over there. There are a lot of good racers in those two categories. I'm happy to be a part of it, and hopefully for a long time, and hopefully we can grow that like we have the pro stock deal.
Yeah, and it is a very logical move when you look at new teams or you look at young teams, especially when you look at stick and ball sports. Uh, some of these owners would like to go for someone that is a little bit more experienced in season, that has been there and done that, has won championships, that can kind of set the tone and really establish the standard that they want to set. And that's what I see in the move that you made to get Mike Green. You guys over a year ago talked about this. Do you still have cars being made as you spoke of a year ago on WFO?
Well, not the cars that I had ordered. We actually released them to someone else, but
Okay,
Josh had two brand new ones on order. Uh,
nice.
that we changed the orders to Canopy cars, and they're, I think the first one's getting real close, second one not too far behind. So yes, we're getting two brand new cars from PBRC that will be Canopy cars for Tony.
That's great. And I know it's a lot of work ahead. You guys still have a crew and whatnot that, once the end of the season, you guys can start that process as well. I'll ask you, are you looking for a mixture of experienced and those who may want to transition and say, hey, I want to be a crewman on a top fuel team? Or are you looking for all experience when it comes to the crewman of the team?
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's going to be left up to Mike Green.
Okay.
I hired him with the thought process of letting him build a team the way he wants it built. Um, and who would argue with that, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not by far an expert in top fuel. So I have to take his lead, and and offer my opinion when he asks for it. But at the end of the day, I am an owner that has been through the ups and downs with the current people that I have in the class that we run. People that we've won 6 championships with and struggled this year. And I'm not a jumper. I don't cross the fence. I try to stay true to the people that are around me and that have got me where I'm at. So that's my hopes in starting this. I'm gonna let him do his deal.
That's good. Guys, a true owner, letting those guys who know the deal run the deal. And I like that. I like that. And speaking of that, your team as a pro stock team struggled early, and it's really cool to see the maturation process. And I know you guys probably aren't where you want to be, but it's amazing to see the big turnaround. I mean, where there were very few elite cars in that top 10, and they've all bumped in. I mean, you got about 4 or 5 cars. Erica's in earshot of probably getting to the third place. And it just completely turned around. But the hard work that you guys put in off the track has shown up here as we've come to the back half of this season.
Yeah, we don't like to make excuses. For the last year, we've had some tremendous setbacks with personnel, and again, didn't go out and get other people to take that position. We struggled through it together as we always do. Jake Harrison had a battle with cancer, who went through some unbelievable stuff. I mean, the guy's as strong as anybody I've ever seen. Mark Ingersoll had a double lung transplant. My brother just had a kidney transplant yesterday. We just got a lot of stuff going on, and I think it speaks highly of the people that I have, how they've got down in the ditches. We have gotten better, but we're not anywhere near where we need to be. We are a couple of hundreds behind Greg and Dallas for sure. And whenever their other cars make good runs, we're behind them as well. But we're working on it daily, and thank God for the fantastic partners we have: Jason Johnson, Mark Melling, Mark Stockseth, and so many more. I can't name them all. Now R&L coming on board with this deal, and that is the same as me. That's the way they are. They stuck true and said, "Hey, let's fight through this. Let's do this our way." And so that's what we've done. So super excited to get the year over with so we can go to work and try to because we're not in contention to win a championship. We kind of all pulling for Dallas Glenn. I believe he deserves it. The kid works hard, very hard. I mean, he drives a truck, he puts the awning up. He is an owner's blessing, I can tell you. So we're going to pull for him. He's got his work cut out for him. Greg's not going to lay over, that's for damn sure. But as far as our program goes, we are excited about where we are. We've got some new stuff we just got yesterday that shows promise. We'll run that in Vegas, which gives us something to work on through the winter. So we are in the testing phase of our year right now, trying to get ready for 2026.
Yeah, and a lot of work ahead on both ends, and it's exciting times for the sport, for Elite Motorsports, and it's really cool to see that, Richard. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. You've been doing the media rounds. I appreciate you taking the time to come here on the
You betcha.
NotBland Show and discuss this. And man, good luck for the rest of the season, and I'm really excited to see all the new things and this new partnership here with hospitality and marketing and how this can evolve and be something different that can move the sport forward. Thank you so much, Richard.
You betcha. Thanks for having me. Have a
No
good
problem.
evening.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Richard Freeman, everybody. Really cool stuff. Love him, hate him, doesn't matter. It's good stuff that they're doing to help build the sport. This is going to be good for Top Fuel, especially if they can bring out more cars in the near future, or in the future, I should say. That's going to be big for the sport. As we know, need full fields. And what a better way to get some full fields in by adding a few. And you know that when they come out, they will be ready, locked and loaded, and ready to go. So it will be very interesting in 2026. I'm looking forward to seeing how all this comes together. Will Mike Green get his fastball back? And what I mean by the fastball is consistently being able to knock it out of the park when you need to, with being in the low 60s. But he's been consistent, and consistency a lot of times wins you championships over trying to, shall I say, hit the home run all the time. And we've seen that over the last 5 races now. So we got 2 more to go. And I'm looking forward to it. We have another guest on here in a little bit that is consistent himself and is in the running to be Rookie of the Year, Mr. Spencer Hyde. We're going to talk to him about his funny car journey this season as a rookie. Some of the things that he's experienced this year. I mean, what a year that he has had as a rookie, coming in, being able to adapt to different tracks and conditions, because we all know this year conditions changed from Friday to Sunday, and sometimes from round to round it was different. And these cars, funny cars, can be very unpredictable and sometimes throw you a major curveball where you find yourself looking at the wall quickly and having to make that quick move to get it back straight. And he's done an excellent job this season. We're going to talk to him right after we go to our break here with VTRN Sports. We are proud to be an affiliate of VTRN Sports, powered by ESPN. And you can catch all of the Sports Journey content on their website, along with the NotBland Show, the Bob Matthews Show, and After Further Review with Connor Forrest. And after this commercial break, we will be talking to Spencer Hyde. VTRN Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. Wake up with your local sports talk, the morning warm-up with Trey Lau, every weekday from 7 to 8 a.m. And wrap up your day with the Fast Lane with Ed Lane, weekday afternoons 5 to 6. Catch the best play-by-play college football Saturdays to NFL Sundays, plus big names and shows from ESPN Radio every day. Listen anytime on the VTRN Sports app. Stream on your smart speaker by saying Open VTRN Sports or tune in on the radio 93.3 FM and 1320 AM in Lynchburg. And don't forget, you can watch the morning warm up and the Fast Lane live on YouTube at VTRN Sports Lynchburg. VTRN Sports, where local meets national.
What's going on, buddy? I can't hear you.
I'm the dummy who muted myself and forgot. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. What a season that you've had here as a rookie. Driving for one of the premier guys in NHRA. What has that been like?
Oh man, it's been nothing short of amazing. Jim's a really cool dude. He's a legend, an innovator, and just a guy that's super passionate about drag racing and especially fuel funny car racing. I've learned a lot in a short amount of time, and it's been a bit of a blur, to be honest. It feels like, only just a few short weeks ago, I was jumping into a car in Gainesville and getting a license. And at the same time, it feels like 5 years ago. It's been crazy. I can't believe we're through 18 races already. And couldn't really be more happy with my rookie season. I think we've pretty much checked every box except for getting a Wally. So hopefully we've got 2 races left. Hopefully we can put this thing in the winner's circle before the year's out.
Did you see your season progressing in this way, though?
I honestly didn't know what to expect. It was something so new to me and so different from where I came from, the pro mod world, and running my own team and being in charge of everything. It's just been a total flip and something I'm not used to, but I've learned to get used to it and just roll with the punches. And Jim likes things done certain ways, and it's his stuff and he's paying for it, and that's the way it is. So that's what we do. And he's got a great group of guys. We've got a really, really solid team. As he said, this is probably the best team he's ever had in 45 years of doing this, which is pretty cool. So, it didn't start off well. We started out with 2 DNQs. First one was my fault. That was just pure inexperience. I hit the 1,000-foot cone at Gainesville, Q2 on Friday night. Me today probably would have took my foot out of it a little earlier and moved it back to the center, but that was my 9th run in the car ever, and first one at the finish line. Even during my licensing process, I only took it to the 8th mile. We made 2 runs. I went 396, lifting at the 8th at only 270 miles an hour or something. So that was the first time I took it to the stripe, and I kicked myself in the ass for it, but at the same time, just chalk it up as a learning experience. And, from there we went to Phoenix and didn't qualify. And then we kind of got things going in Pomona, and, I'd say we were, going uphill from there.
Yeah. I mean, you runner up twice, you were in the semifinals twice. That's an impressive feat for a funny car driver. What are your big surprises that you've run into off the track?
Off the track, probably just the logistics of everything. I've never raced this much before. The most racing I've ever done in a season was, probably 11 or 12 events. I'm at 20 on the year, starting with the 2 Winter Series races with the Pro Mod in Bradenton, heading into 21 here next weekend. So, and then, there's the stuff behind the scenes that people don't see. I'm heading to North Carolina this weekend to, try and track down some sponsorship dollars to secure a spot for next year, and meeting with a group down there, and some people I met in Charlotte at the race. So it's on the road all the time, trying to find sponsorship and just chasing the dream of being a fuel funny car driver. And, also trying to run a construction company here back home. Got a family construction business that I'm pretty involved in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my day-to-day through the week stuff. And in the midst of all the travel, I've gotten really sick of driving back and forth to the airport. So I've been flying a lot, trying to get my pilot's license here so I can fly myself to the races here maybe one day.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And it save a lot of trouble dealing with airlines because that's not fun these days.
No, it's not.
What have been some of the surprises that you faced on the track? Any particular track that threw you, some surprises or curveballs? I'm sure that with the experience that you have in Jim Head, I'm sure he was able to give you pointers at, tracks where there may be some, variances or where you might have to try to keep the car at.
Yeah. A lot of these tracks I've never been down before. I would say probably over half the tracks we've gone to, the first time staging on the track was in a fuel funny car. So not only do I not have a lot of experience driving a fuel funny car, I had never experienced going down that racetrack. So, Friday, if it was a new track, I'd generally jump in the golf cart or the scooter and just take a drive down the return road and check things out and make sure I know where everything is and which way to turn off and kind of what the turn off top end situation looks like. And then actually just driving this car, it's a beast, man. It's its own animal. Everybody asks me to describe it all the time, and I just can't. There's nothing on earth that compares to driving a fuel funny car. I've done some pretty cool stuff in my life and got to experience a lot of things, and there's nothing like driving a fuel funny car. It's just crazy. It's you just never know what to do. You think you get comfortable in the car, and then you get in there the next run and it just does something that blows your mind. And it's taken a lot of runs to just kind of get a handle on it. And like I said, you still jump in there and sometimes you think you got a handle on it and you don't. They're wild.
Yeah, they look crazy. I don't have that kind of courage to have a bomb in front of me. I'd rather have it behind me. I'm a dragster guy, but it is easier at the moment to be in funny car. Although dragster has kind of dropped off in participants, so you might be able to get in a little bit easier. Fan asked, Drag Race Mayhem says, what car do you think you had have bigger impact in as a driver, the Pro Mod or the funny car?
It's a good question. I would actually probably say the Pro Mod. I've had more success in the Pro Mod. I've won several events, including a couple pretty big ones, World Series of Pro Mod especially. I also ran that whole program, not myself, but I was in charge of it. I had a great team of guys behind me and a great tuner. But it was something I did with my buddies. We worked on the car on Monday nights here at my house where I live up here in Canada, work on the car and get in the truck Tuesday and drive to the race and set up and test Thursday and qualify Friday and race Saturday and drive home Sunday. And it was a much more involved experience for me from the whole program side of things. This deal is just different with the funny car. I kind of show up with my helmet and get in and go. And like I said, it's just two totally different things, but I enjoy both of them. I miss aspects of racing the Pro Mod. I miss my guys, but at the same time, I love where I'm at and I love the new guys I'm with. They're all just great people. And like Richard alluded to earlier, you just surround yourself with good people and you work hard and good things will happen.
Most definitely. How do you like the fan interaction and the interaction with the media? I know that's probably the media, especially, is a new thing.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot more used to it. I hate public speaking, or I used to hate public speaking. I used to get super nervous. I used to never want to talk, and it's just something you got to get used to because it's a part of it, especially when you start doing decent and you get put in the spotlight and people want to talk to you. So. I don't mind it. You know what? It's I love the fan interaction. There's nothing nothing makes me happier than seeing a kid come over and smile and just be super excited to be around race cars, because I was that kid.
Yeah.
So, that's probably the most enjoyable part to me. And then all the questions that the fans have, I love telling my story and trying to explain to people what these things are like to drive, even though it's hard to explain. But I really enjoy that part of it, and I'm getting used to the media stuff, so it's all good.
Yeah. We're a little bit nicer than most stick and ball sports. It's a little bit more cutthroat over there. As me being an NFL media member, yeah, it can be rough over there. But yeah, it is pretty awesome to see, and I think Ford said it best. Really is true. Really haven't seen a driver to adapt so quickly. And I will say this, like I've said all season long, you probably came in the toughest time this season because the racing conditions, weather-wise, changed sometimes round to round, and definitely from start of Friday to Sunday. When you get on race day, that's something totally different than what you've seen all weekend. Um, Tell us a little bit about that aspect of it, not just driving the car, but then you have the conditions that, these cars are very, very finicky, and these conditions can change how this car responds each and every round. So, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit harder for the tuner than the driver, but these things do drive differently when they're tuned up and tuned down. I mean, you a 386 run does not feel anything like a 396 run. As silly as that sounds, it's only a tenth of a second, and we're running similar speeds. You can be almost a full G difference in the middle of the racetrack how it's pulling, and that affects your vision. It affects how the car accelerates. It affects what the tire does. It affects just the total feel of the car. When they slow the car down, it affects your reaction time. Right, just the slower the car is on the starting line, the slower your reaction time is going to be. Jim's very adamant about staging the car as shallow as possible every time to be consistent. And sometimes it's frustrating to me because a lot of these guys like to chunk it in there pretty good and cut an 040 and 050, make themselves look pretty good. But you can look at their 60 foots and see that, as Jim likes to say, stage them with the firewall. But it's been, I don't think I adapted to the car as quickly as I would have liked, but maybe I set my expectations too high or the bar too high. But I've never gotten anything that I hadn't kind of got a handle on in a few runs until I got in this funny car. And it was just very humbling, to be 4, 5, 6 races in and still make mistakes that I didn't think I should make. But, Jim was like, that's just what these things are. It's going to happen. It happens to guys that have been doing this for 10, 15 years. You just got to live with it and not beat yourself up and learn from it and try and take that with you to the next run. But the condition thing, especially when we race, like qualify Friday nights and then, in the middle of the day, Saturday, you can be two totally different race cars and race tracks, even though you're at the same place, within 24 hours. But it's just been a whole learning experience.
Yeah. Are you to the point where I know drivers are different, but are you to the point where you kind of drive with the seat of your pants and you can kind of tell that, I think I'm experiencing a little tire shake, I might need to pedal this thing?
Oh, for sure. You have to, because you can't really think quick enough. If you're trying to use your visuals, it's tough because you're behind the car. You have to feel it in your ass, and it's really the only way you can react. And guys will tell you in the middle of the run in these things, like, you really can't see a lot. It's so blurry in there, the vibrations. And if you ever watch an in-car camera like a GoPro, and it gets fuzzy in the middle of the run, that's exactly what your eyeballs do. So for instance, Dallas Friday night, we were on a really good run, probably would have run 390, 391, and it got so blurry in the middle of the racetrack. And just, I don't know if it was the lighting in Dallas or what, but you generally can't see great, but you can still have a kind of an idea where you are on the racetrack. I was lost.
Yeah.
I didn't know where I was on the racetrack. At night, you get the glare off the windshield from the header flames. And I'm not making excuses, but I just flat out couldn't see. So by the time I did see, when it starts to clear up around 600-700 feet, when the clutch locks up, it gets a little clearer after clutch lock up. And by that time, I could tell I was over on the center line. So I didn't want to do what I did in Gainesville and hit the cone. So I just lifted out of it and put a bunch of right rudder in it and brought it back over to the middle. But that killed a bunch of ET. We went 394 instead of probably 390. And that was the difference between being fourth place and ninth place. And unfortunately, a nitro funny car right now, if you qualify eighth or ninth, there's about a 90% chance you're going to get Austin Prock second round because he's always number one. And number 8, winner of 8 and 9 always gets the number 1 or 16, which is generally number 1 second round. So we got to stay off of that 8-9 spot and qualify up in the top half of the ladder. But it's not for lack of trying, man. Jim's always swinging for the fence. He loves being the fastest guy, and he knows how to be the fastest guy. Just we've also trying to work on a little bit more consistency as well.
Yeah, and I think you look around throughout a lot of these classes, and that's been the stickler. Some of these teams don't really have that big home run hitter, run that 388 or whatever, and they just run consistently. And really, the big numbers haven't really been the ones outside of Austin Prock, haven't been the ones that have been winning and hasn't produced championship, hopes. Consistency has produced those types of hopes, and that's important. And you got one of the best that understands that. 2 races to go, man. It's going to be a marathon these last 2 races. What's your feeling on it? Are you still hyped up and ready for the season? I know it's a long season, and you got not only your racing, you're doing your own personal construction business. We still good?
Oh yeah. If you don't get hyped up to getting a fuel funny car, there's something wrong with your head. Yeah. I'm still pumped up. Vegas is probably the closest we've gotten to a win, winning the Too Fast Too Tasty deal on the Saturday night in Vegas at the spring race. I think we were low at least 2 of the qualifying sessions, and we were low first round. I think we were the only car on the 3s first round. So I know that we can run good there and run up front there. We qualified 3rd when we were there last time. Yeah. I'm very excited. Just being in Vegas in general is exciting. It's a great place. Yeah, I'm pumped. And then Pomona, California, the World Finals, it's just a different era about it. It's kind of, it's Championship Sunday for the real thing, even though we're not in the championship fight, really, being in 9th place, but it's still points and a half, and it's the last race of the year, and you're trying to prove yourself for next year. And yeah, I'm very pumped up for these next 2 races. So I'm still very hopeful that, we can get a Wally before the year's out. And like I said, can't win the championship, but I'd love to mix up the points. I'd love to, put Austin on the trailer and give Hagen or Caps or Beckman a shot at closing the gap. But you don't know until you know. So we're going to go there and give it our all and see what happens.
For sure. You got a Too Fast, Too Tasty. So I'm sure it's the same thing I said about Richard Gadsden. Once you get one, the rest of them come easy. And you guys are right on the threshold of that. You've been close twice this season, and it would be cool to see you get one here within one of these last 2 races. My last question for you is from a fan here. He says, if you could choose a race to win, which one would it be? Do you have a favorite track or a place that you would want to win your first Wally at?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If it's one of the last 2, I would say the World Finals, just because you get to hold on as the last race winner of the season. You get to keep that for 3 months or 4 months instead of, a week or 2. But I'd love to win in Vegas. I like Vegas. It's a great spot to be a winner.
Yeah.
But out of the whole season, probably Norwalk, Ohio would be my ultimate one to win, just because it's the closest race to home. It's kind of where all my people come out from Canada and watch. Obviously, the U.S. Nationals would be an obvious choice, but man, I don't care. I win at any one of these things. I just want to be able to hoist that Wally up, and I've been, first year in Fuel Funny Car and first year racing NHRA, but I've been drag racing for 20 years now, over 20 years, and it just gets in your blood and gets in your veins, and you just want to win. There's no better feeling than winning.
For sure. Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. Good luck the rest of the seasons. And personally, from me to you, congratulations on the engagement. Wish you guys nothing but the best. And, man, keep doing your thing. It's really been fun to watch you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Spencer Hyde, everybody. Need more of those guys. And it's really cool to see him get the opportunity to drive one of the Legends cars out there and see him do it as well as he has. Sorry, if you're on TikTok, I haven't figured out how to watch this thing and look at your comments. So if you're commenting and you're tapping the screen and all those things that we do on TikTok, really appreciate you guys over there for taking the time and watching the stream. Sorry I didn't get to a lot of you guys' comments during this, but I will go back and you're not wrong here, Drag Race Mayhem. You're not wrong here. I know that you can and will can build a program with him. He's been through it, been with some of the best, and it's a great way to establish a good team and the foundation, because that's what's important with all of this is the foundation of things. But at the same time, you cannot overlook his struggles, and those struggles have been there, and we all know that. And maybe a change of scenery gets him out of it. You know what I mean? We've seen that. You can look at stick and ball sports and coaches. It happens. They get in a little bit of a rut and they find their way out of it. But I mean, this comment is also not untrue. Women lie, men lie, numbers, stats, and tape do not. And that's been the fact. And we've talked about it here on the show. He's been consistent, and he has QB1, elite QB1, that has helped them out and helped them and willed them to wins. He's just given him a car at times to make sure it gets to A to B, and let your QB1 do the work. And I guess at the end of the day, if I'm struggling in that department, there's no other person I'd rather have in the seat, first off. Second of all, you know that. So let's just make sure we keep the car in the game and make sure we don't do anything to turn the ball over, make mistakes, and put us behind the eight ball and not possibly win. Give our driver the best chance to win. And that's what they do. So can't argue that. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to put this on you guys, all right? We're going to put this on you guys, and right after this break. Talking Funny Cars with Buddy Hall. It's on Wednesdays at 8. We'll see if we hit the right one here.
Let me talk to you. What do we want to talk about?
That's what we were looking for. What do we want to talk about? I did see Blake had his thoughts here. I believe that is it. He said he's looking forward to the new NHRA mobile game. Well, NHRA put out a press release saying that they were going to be releasing a mobile game. Look, not going to kill your excitement here, but I'm gonna move you over to Exhibit A. Exhibit A is the first ever or second rendition of NHRA Championship Drag Racing on all of your consoles and PC, and they blew it up to be something. And to me, it was a big old burp, then fart. It missed the mark. And what makes it even worse is we live in an age now where my game gets updated sometimes weekly or monthly. So it's not like they couldn't have made adjustments to this game and worked on it while it was released and then uploaded updates so that the games could be updated to be better. No, they rolled it out, put it out, left it out, and abandoned it. They made one update, and that was the update about the people, some people, and I think it was mainly consoles, had that issue where it was kind of running weird and it was doing all this kind of weird engine noises that don't exist. They fixed that, and that was it. They abandoned the game. So I don't know if I can trust them to put out a quality mobile game. And again, I know Drag Race Mayhem will say this. It is I think what is the game called? No Limit? Hold on. I got the game. Yeah, No Limit 2. Best drag racing game you can find out here right now on a mobile device. They have everything. Pro mod, whatever. It is really, really good. And people are making like their own cars, versions of older cars and pro stock cars. So they've got a big shoe to fill to compete with because people love that game. Let me go back here. Where we at? I'm sorry, guys. Bad with the comments today. Bad with the comments. AW says, keep me on ignore. Still salty over the drag race bracket bonanza. It's okay. I missed it. Sorry. Drag Race Mayhem says, Mike Green reminds me of James Franklin. Had an elite team, couldn't do anything with it. Not lying. It's just yeah. I don't think we're going to see anything great. And I say set your bar low and you will be happy. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. A mobile game for console. Dave W says, I like the old Top Fuel Mayhem mobile game that was fun to race with friends. I don't think I ever played that. Dave W says, we can have a NotBland Show mobile game league and I can Yeah, we're going to fix that next year. Some of that is I missed, one, it did not move through all of the, trying to upload it to all the leagues. It didn't do that. And it happened when they started doing Pro Mod. It got funny and didn't work one time. And then there's one time I forgot because I was on the road working for Sega and just completely forgot about it. Late nights will do that to you. For sure. Drag Race Mayhem says, I was going to say that, man, like you have iRacing out here putting out masterpieces and you still go with them. You have to spend money to make money in the video game space. Absolutely. And I'll have to check, but I believe that iRacing is working on a drag racing version of that. Funny Car, Top Fuel, whatever. I believe, but it's going to take a little bit. And it's been a few years. I think I was talking to someone about that about 3 years ago. So I don't know where they are on that and whether they have taken that step forward. but they were looking to do something of that nature. Drag Race Mayhem also says, yes, No Limit 2, and it'll somehow be better than NHRA's, I guarantee. I do too, until proven otherwise. I mean, I have to until proven otherwise, because the track record hasn't been good. I mean, the game they put out, what was it, on PlayStation 2 years ago, is still the best NHRA game of current. And we have more power with these consoles, more ability to alter and change the video game in real time without, and you could have just add DLC packs. First of all, you had to fix the game first. And they could have brought in true head-to-head stuff, not this racing against somebody's ghost car. And once they got that part fixed, then you could roll out DLC for this thing. I mean, they could still be rolling out DLC, and you wouldn't have to go out and spend money like EA does and create a game every year. They could have just kept updating the game, kind of like they do with games like Payday. There's still some older games out there that I don't really play, but they update and change. I mean, look at Fortnite. Fortnite's a prime example of that. Free game with a lot of DLC you can buy. They could have done that and made money off of it. And I think if it was a quality game, people would pay for those things. But it was a one-time deal, and they let it lie just like that. Let's see what Blake said. I've played the Top Fuel Mayhem, and you should play it. I'll have to find it. And see. I don't think I've ever played that one before. I played one that was pretty good, though, but I don't think it was that. I'm not sure. No, they aren't, sadly. The owner said drag racing couldn't be done on their service. iRacing owns iRacing Studios, who made the recent NASCAR game. I think that's more likely. Yeah. It would be nice if they could do it, because I think if they had the opportunity to and could do that, I think it would be one of the best out there. Dave W. says, the best game ever was Burnout Championship Drag Racing. I do remember that before it morphed into the NHRA game series. Yes, that one was really good. It had everything you could think of. Physics were really good. The gameplay was really good. And that's when, 64-bit back then? Still a better game than today. We've got like the ability to put it in 4K. Like, come on. Dave W says the problem, I think, is in the licensing cost. That's why the car makes are very generic looking. Yeah, I think that is too. But again, like Drag Race Mayhem said, you got to spend money to make money. And I think if they spent a little money on the thing, they would have gotten a huge return on investment. As a matter of fact, I have a prime example for you. The prime example is AEW's wrestling game. They just keep adding DLC and adding to the game. They're not releasing a game every year like WWE does or any EA product. And they're making money on it just fine. And if they had done it right the first time, you could be still making money on that game today by adding DLC. And I think you just have to pay. But at the end of the day, and I think that's what Drag Race Mayhem is here getting ready to say too, is that we really don't have any manufacturers outside of one. And I don't know how long that one's going to be here. He said, well, if I'm a manufacturer, I ain't letting my logo get contaminated by Game Mill. Yeah. Not a very good product, my guy. Not a very, very good product at all. I'm not gonna hold you on that one. You're right about that. 100% right. So, yeah, I can't lie on that one. So, it's going to be, we got 2 weeks, got another week of off week, and then we'll be back to racing. And I'm really looking forward to November when the IHRA hits the town. They're going to be out there it should be a prime weather. I mean, I'm looking ahead to weather right now as I will be in Shelby, North Carolina for the final race for the Southeast Gassers Association. As you can see, I'm wearing my Gasser shirt. And nighttime lows are low 40s, mid to low 40s, and only 60 degrees during the day. And I believe, and that will be Halloween weekend, where we will be. In the following week, it should be a lot cooler when the IHRA hits the track, because here in South Georgia, the temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s, and the nighttime lows will be in the mid to low 40s. So it will be that much cooler there for their last race. And so it should be some really good racing out there with the conditions that they'll be facing. So probably some of the best conditions that they have faced all season long. So looking forward to that and what will transpire there. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 is going to be fantastic. So much stuff going on. So many new teams, so many new faces and new places. Really excited for Josh Hart and his ability. We will have him on the show next week talking about that and talking about his season. We'll get him to share some things regarding the fact that he did own a team. Because I remember when I first talked to him, when he was still running the alcohol ranks, he was just getting ready to get out and move over to what would have been Bob Vandergrift's team that would have had him and Sean Reed as teammates, that never transpired. He did not want to own a Top Fuel team. That was not his outlook. I mean, rightfully so, with all that comes with it, and he already owns a business. He talked a little bit about that today on WFO. So we'll talk to him next week. It'll be a good time next week. I don't know if we're going to get any sponsor announcements from them. We'll talk to him tonight, and I'm sure he will tell us about that as well. So you can catch him over on the Power Hour tonight, talking about that. We'll also have Blake Bowser on. He is one of the guys at Famoso Dragway that has really taken over the California hot rod deal over there, what they call Nitro Revival, and has resurrected it. It is in its second year, and from what I understand, it's bigger than it was last year. So good stuff happening for them. Let's see what Blake was saying. Blake says he's looking forward to the Norwalk, NHRA Norwalk race next year. He hopes to be there. I hope you will too. That's a good place. That's a good race to go to, for sure. Drag Race Mayhem says, also correct, all the manufacturers are going to sports cars. Yeah. It's going to be interesting times here coming in 2026. I think folks will be surprised at some announcements that will come through regarding manufacturers. So, it'll be interesting next year. Really, and again, this is where love them or hate them. This is where Richard Freeman and Elite Motorsports and the forward thinking comes into play. I'm really interested and really intrigued by that, to see what they do to kind of, I say, reinvent the wheel and improve it, and bring some innovativeness to what most may say, honest people like Drag Race Mayhem may say, that has still been stuck in its 80s form, late 80s form. Really haven't progressed that much. And there's some things we have to get on board with that are to modernize and to really capitalize on what sponsorship and being able to generate money for the series means today and how it's gone about today. And I think they will be a good team to try to do that and start the step forward. And I also think of Tony coming from NASCAR. There again, I've said this when we've had drivers come over. Tony coming over, I thought that that floodgate would open a little bit. Obviously, we do have Rick Ware and his involvement, and he really has jumped in feet first, and now has 2 cars, so that's great. But I'm really interested to see how the sponsorships begin to come over to be on these race cars. We have a lot of up and coming racers that are looking for sponsorship deals. Ida comes to mind is getting something solid and a big foundation for them to continue racing and race full time. That's something that's on the table. So we've got to figure out a way to maximize that. And I think some of that is based on it's based on social media and how the drivers market themselves, but it's also going to be a big proprietary of what our TV deal is going to look like, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's about being seen. Memphis Lion says, any word if Antron is putting Angel in Top Fuel next year? I have heard nothing of that. I haven't heard nothing of that. No word on whether she will or not be there. Maybe it's something that we're going to hear, and they've kept close to the vest. No leaks. But I would think if there was some type of possibility, this is a small world over here in the world of drag racing, NHRA drag racing, and rumor mill and scuttlebutt. I would think you would hear some type of rumor of that, but there are some people that have the ability to keep things close to the vest better than others. So maybe that's what they have been doing and what they are doing. But no, I don't have any word or have not heard anything, any possibility of that being the case. Drag Race Mayhem says, I also hate how people in drag racing say manufacturers don't want to race and build cars when IMSA and WEC have more manufacturers entered than ever. They still want to race. They just don't want to here. And that's what it seems like. And that's where got to change that somehow. I don't know why that is, but got to change that somehow. And maybe IHRA is the one to try to change that narrative. Maybe. But that narrative has to change, I think. Do you have to have it? Probably not, but it definitely helps. It makes things easier for everyone. I mean, it really does when you have that. And then you have that ability to be able to, more R&D, more people looking to improve bodies, whether it's, funny car or pro stock or whatever. So, I think it's definitely something that you could do it without it, but it definitely makes it better. It makes it easier. So, like I said, we're going to see. It's going to be interesting times here as we work into 2026. 2 races left. Let's enjoy them. Really, there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to look at, considering these last couple races here. I know a lot of championships are just about wrapped up in our 2 race championships. So there's a lot of movement that can happen there within the top 10. Look forward to seeing where some folks finish, because that matters too, especially when it comes down to their sponsors as well. So it will be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the NotBland Show. I want to thank our guest, Richard Freeman. and Spencer Hyde. Really, really thankful for them to come on the show, and we had some good conversation tonight. So, and I'm glad that Richard took a different spin than kind of regurgitating what he said on WFO. That was refreshing, and it made it interesting for you guys, and that helps. Want to thank Everything Nitro, and want to thank Drag Race Reference. That's where we get all our stats from, and that's where you should too. Want to thank our affiliate, VTRN Sports, powered by ESPN. You guys can listen to them on VTRN Sports on the app there. They also play all your ESPN radio shows as well, and they do a lot of college sports if you're interested in that as well. Thank you to Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. We are almost to the close of that year, but we definitely thank them for their affiliation with us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Well, for the NotBland Show and Sports Journey, I'm Dujane Bland. This has been the NotBland Show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to those who listen or watch later on. Remember, subscribe, share, like the show. It helps big time. Well, everybody, I'll see you on the Power Hour. Good night, everybody.